Let's move over to Eric Adams. So, Eric Adams, ladies and gentlemen, recently has been going viral for his take on working with the Trump campaign or working with the Trump administration and taking a different position against these liberal views. Let's get into it. Well, first of all, let's get him talking about this manhunt because I want to see if he's going to catch the killer.
More developments now in the murder investigation of that United Healthcare executive in Manhattan this week. We saw images of it all week now. Police are releasing these photos from a hostel on the Upper West Side of a person they say is, quote, wanted for questioning in connection with the shooting. Joining us right now for more on the manhunt in New York City, Mayor Eric Adams. Mr. Mayor, thank you for joining us this morning. This is an event and images that have shaken the city to its core, especially the business community that I think is now more worried than ever about their own security. Tell us about sort of where this investigation stands, and then we'll dig into maybe some of the broader implications.
Thank you, and good to see you again. We're asking every New Yorker and American to look at the picture, the photo, and to assist us. If you know him, if his face looks familiar, please reach out to our law enforcement agencies here or your local law enforcement agencies so that we can bring this person to justice and remove him off the streets of our country. This was amazing police work here. This was a fully masked individual, and because of our video surveillance system in this city, we were able to track him and get these videos, these photos that you see right now. It was not an easy task. Within just a few hours, the men and women of our law enforcement entities are going to bring this person to justice.
Mr. Mayor, can you tell us, is there any new progress that we don't know about beyond these images which have now been brought to the public in terms of where this investigation stands? Any suspects that you feel like you are closing in on or have a better insight into?
Yes, and there's a lot of new information that our detectives and other law enforcement entities were able to find based on their good old-fashioned police work.
Right.
But as you know, there's a level of sensitivity that you don't want to do anything that's going to endanger the investigation or to tip off the suspect. We will have a full briefing when this person is brought to justice.
Mr. Mayor, do you have any sense? I mean, the speculation, as you know, that's rampant is that this is the result of this gentleman's job and that he was targeted as a result of working in this insurance industry, potentially, and that...
Hold on. Lydia, what are you talking about? Adams did this to NYC, defunding the police, open borders, sanctuary. What are you talking about? So, listen, y'all. I like to hold Eric Adams accountable just as much as the next person. However, you can't blame an assassin that has a well-planned plan to eliminate a CEO at shift change for police officers. Come on. This is not the mayor's fault. You can't blame everything. Man, my kid is bad. It's the mayor's fault. Man, my foot is hurting. It's the mayor's fault. Every single thing is not the mayor's fault, all right? You can't blame everything on everybody. That doesn't even make sense.
That this was targeted as a result of that, as opposed to some kind of family squabble or some other.
And I like to interact with the chat. The chat is my co-host of the show.
Event. The reason I ask this is we're on a business network. There's a lot of business executives that are watching, and I think asking the question, how safe are they?
Yeah, and I think your question is a good question. And, there's a balance here that I want to strike to, number one, ensure that all of the business people in this city, this is the Empire State, and we build empires here. This is the safest big city in America. And I know that an incident like
I call Cap, but listen, that's cool. Cool.
This will strike at the core of that title that we have But this city is a safe city. We have an amazing police force, and they continue to have drove down crime the entire time that I've been in office. And so we're going to continue to ensure that safety with the omnipresence of our uniformed police officers and some of the tools that you don't see. But at the same time, as I want to ensure their safety, I do not want to do anything at all that's going to hamper the investigation and the apprehension of the person responsible for this crime.
Okay, I got a more complicated one for you, Mr. Mayor, which is, a lot of executives, senior executives, have what's called executive protection. That's the sort of parlance for the industry. Executive protection when you have a bodyguard or somebody who walks with you where you go. There are some people, big name billionaires that who walk around this city completely on their own, without any protection of any sort. There are others that may have even a lower profile that do have that protection for lots of different reasons. How do you think folks should feel about that?
Well, I think personal protection is a personal decision. You have not only those who are business executives, as you indicated, we have a high list of A-list celebrities and sports figures. But the beauty of New York City, you can actually blend right into the entire atmosphere of the city. I saw a photo the other day of Manning saying that this is the first time he took the subway system, because our subway system is the safest in almost always over 14 years. When you in New York,
do Eric Adams got a stutter?
Everyday New Yorkers are hustling, bustling, going on with their daily lives, that they're not focusing on individuals, and people should go on and continue to live their lives. I think it was just mentioned that we're one of the number one tourist destinations for 2025.
All right, all of this seemed like a little bit of a reach, but we're going to take his word for it. That's not the thing that we want to focus on. We want to focus on Eric Adams' perspective on working with Trump and going forward.
Mr. Mayor, I want to pivot to a different topic, which is immigration. You're meeting with Trump's border czar next week. You also, and you came on Squawk back in March and talked about those debit cards that you were advocating to be giving to migrants. That program is ended. But I'm curious whether you think in the end that was the right decision or the wrong decision, not to end it, but to begin it.
Yes, and they were not debit cards; they were food cards. And some of the sensationalism that was attached to it didn't understand the full mission. These were food cards. These law requires us to feed the migrants and asylum seekers that are here. We saw that there was food waste, and during the emergency, we gave them food cards where they had to purchase food on those cards. Instead of purchasing it from large conglomerates, we were able to spend the money locally in our local stores, our bodegas, our supermarkets. This was a smart idea of recycling the dollars within our city. And the reason we ended the program is because of the job we've done. 220,000 migrants and asylum seekers in the city, 170,000 we were able to move to the next leg of our journey because of smart policies. We brought down the cost of the migrants and asylum seekers. This cost our city $6.4 billion that the federal government should have picked up the price tag, and they didn't. So we made the right decision. And I think now we have an administration that we can work with to further secure our borders and deal with this immigration crisis we're facing.
Nope, I think that you made the wrong decision. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. See, I like the new direction that Eric Adams has taken. I'm a fan of the fact that he's going against, and that he was one of the mayors that broke off from going against or going with the Biden administration, Biden Kamala Harris, when it came to this immigration crisis. But he never stood with southern border towns. He never stood with the people. He actually went with, because let me tell you what these mayors and what these governors think. They think in terms of money. They think in terms of dollars. They think that federal dollars are going to come into their cities that then allows for them to be able to shore up their budgets and continue to reinvest in themselves. And that's why you see them as Democratic strongholds, because the more that they can run in the Victim Olympics, the more they're going to be rewarded by the federal government traditionally when it comes to liberal cities. That's why they're Democratic hellholes. They want greater population, but not necessarily more solutions, because then that's what then allows for them to get more federal dollars. That's why he just said it. Hey, listen, the feds was the ones that was supposed to pick up the tab when Biden cut everybody off because he couldn't get no more money from Congress. That's when Eric Adams started shifting his perspective and his position, and that he never really supported the migrant crisis. He supported more money for New York. So now that we get into the point to where they switched and they turned on each other, he was looked at as a leper within the Democratic Party. They was never seeking any visibility from him, even though he was the one that controlled the biggest city in the United States of America. Now it's, oh man, wait a minute. We did the right thing. We took care of business. We had to take care of these migrants. You never had to have the migrants in the first place if you had stood with southern states and didn't designate yourself as a sanctuary city in the first place. And see, this is the part that I don't like. I don't like when they don't say, hey man, listen, I got that one wrong. Hey, I was wrong on that one. I got that one wrong. 100% I was wrong. I'll be wrong every once in a while, and I'll be like, you know what? You got me on that one. He was kicking Cassie's butt. 100% I was wrong on that. I seen the footage. He not going to get out of that one. I was off on that one. But the mother 200, I was right on that one, but you got me on that one. It's okay to be wrong. I believe that one of the things that the media don't teach you, and media training is trash anyway, but one of the things that they don't teach you when you being a politician is that to endear yourself to the people is just to be real about who it is that you are and where you come from and what your circumstances are. You know what? We got that one wrong, but we're going to get the next one right. We learn from it. You ain't got to stand on that.
What's been the reaction to some of your comments that you made earlier this week about immigrants and migrants that have come to the state illegally, and what may happen under a Trump administration? You've suggested you're going to work with the Trump administration. There's others, obviously, in this city who, and this is been considered a blue city for a long time, that have suggested you shouldn't be.
Think about that for a moment. Imagine 4 years of warring with the president and not working with the president.
He literally just threw Biden under the bus. He might as well say, I am now a Republican. The Dallas mayor did it. He might as well just say I'm a Republican. He threw the whole Democratic Party under the bus. Democrats is over. It's over for y'all.
Imagine 4 years of warring with the president and not working with the president. Our country is about how do we move our cities forward, and that's what my goal is going to do. And people say you're changing comments. It's the same comments. When I was on your program last year, I talked about those small number of migrants and asylum seekers who are coming here committing violence in our city, and those acts of violence are unacceptable. Not only are they unacceptable to everyday New Yorkers, but they're also unacceptable to migrants and asylum seekers who are here. Anyone that commits a crime in this city should be held accountable, and those who are here based on the guests of our city and our country, they should be removed from our country after they serve their time. And I've been consistent on that no matter who's the president at the time.
What's your relationship right now with President Trump? President-elect Trump, he made some very nice comments about you, as you might remember, at the Al Smith dinner.
Well, I'm a nice person, so people should make nice comments about me. You know, I have a big heart. I love the city. I served it as a police officer, state senator, and the borough president. And so President Biden made nice comments about me when he came to the city. And I visited him in Washington, D.C., and talked about crime. He helped us with crime issues. I think we should have done a better job around securing our borders and not having cities pay this awesome amount to deal with a national problem. And so,
listen, Eric Adams, listen, come on over, bro. Just come on over, big dog. You ain't even got to hold off. Come on over, bro. You ain't got to fight it. You could just say, listen, I'm a full-blown Republican. I was running under the Democratic banner. I tried to play nice. It didn't work out for me. Come on over to the front of the congregation, dog. We understand. We get it.